Hey everybody, welcome back to Podcastage. My name's Bandrew and I am back with another audio interface test video for you guys. So today I am testing out this guy. This is the XOX KS108 USB sound card or USB audio interface as requested by our viewer Andrea Sandor. And if you are interested in this USB interface or sound card, it'll set you back about $40, and as per usual, I'll link it in the description. So now let's go ahead and talk about what you get in the box. Obviously, you're going to get the sound card or interface. You get the USB cable that you can connect to your computer. And then lastly, you get a stereo 3.5 millimeter cable to connect your iPhone or tablet to. So as far as the build quality, it's not that great. It is an all plastic body and it does feel pretty flimsy. So I am not impressed when it comes to the build quality. But now let's go ahead and walk through all the features on this thing because this thing has so much crap thrown in it. So let's go ahead and start with the dials on this thing. So on the left hand side, we have three different dials. We have the mic bass, mic treble, and mic volume. So the mic bass is obviously going to control the bass of the microphone, so that will increase or decrease it. Next, we have microphone treble. You can guess what that's going to do, increase or decrease the treble of the microphone. And lastly, microphone volume. This will increase or decrease the volume of the microphone. On the other side, we have three more dials, but they are labeled very confusing. So the first one is audience volume, then we have music volume and earphone volume. Audience volume is the output to your computer, so this will increase or decrease the level that's being recorded onto your computer. Next, we have music volume, which is kind of confusing. So you can use this to output sound from your computer. If you are doing that, you can use the music volume to increase or decrease the sound playing through your computer. Let me go ahead and give you an example. Lastly, we have earphone volume, and you can guess what that's going to do. That controls the volume that you hear in your headphones. Now let's go ahead and walk through all the inputs. So on the front, we have three microphone inputs. We have mic, mic 1, and mic 2, which in my eyes is very confusing. It should be mic 1, mic 2, mic 3. Mic is the only input that gets any voltage going to the microphone. So right now, as you can see, I am plugged into mic, and right now I am getting 4.84 volts. Now we're plugged into the mic 1 input, and as you can see, we are getting essentially 0 volts. Lastly, we are now plugged into the mic 2 input, and once again, we are getting essentially 0 volts. So let me go ahead and clarify what that means. It basically means if you're using an electric condenser microphone like the NW700, NW800, or anything like that, you can only use mic as your input because that is the only input that sends voltage to the microphone. If you were to try to plug it into mic 1 or mic 2, it simply wouldn't work. Let me go ahead and show you. So I'm still plugged into the mic 1 input, but now I am using a Shure SM48, which is a dynamic microphone, meaning it requires 0 voltage to function. So I did have to crank up the volume. It's basically at 100% to get this level. So this is what it sounds like when you're using a dynamic microphone in the mic 1 input. Now I'm plugged into the mic 2 input using the 6.3 meter cable, and I am still using the Shure SM48. The volume is still at 100%. Bass and treble are at 50%, so they are even. And this is what it sounds like when you're plugged directly into this sound card. The last two 3.5 millimeter jacks are headphones and line out. And this is where you're obviously going to plug in your headphones, or you're going to plug in your line out, which could be a stereo 3.5 millimeter to a stereo RCA jack. Something like that, so you can run this to your mixer or whatever you want. Lastly, on the back, we have XMPI, which I have no idea what that means. In the manual, it did sound like they had external components that you can mix with this, but I wasn't able to find anything, so that's pretty much useless. In the middle, we have the USB port, which is what you use to plug this into your computer. Lastly, we have the phone/tablet input, and this is where you will use the stereo 3.5 millimeter jack. You plug your phone directly into that, and unfortunately, there are no volume controls for this input on the mixer, so you're going to have to control the volume on your phone or tablet. Let me go ahead and show you how it sounds. Now let's go ahead and talk about the buttons on the top. So this one on the left is mode/stereo mix. If you long press it, it actually only records the microphone to your computer. So let me go ahead and show you. Right now we are using stereo mix. You can hear music playing still. Let me go ahead and hold stereo mix. Now you shouldn't be able to hear any music. Now you can hear the music again. So that's what happens when you long press this button. If you short press it, you switch between 4 different modes, which I don't fully understand the difference. So right now we are on chat. So you can tell that because this center logo is green when I am not talking. So right now it's green. That means we're on chat. Now it is blue. We are on sing. Now it is red. It means it is for an MC. And now, as you can see, it's white, and it is on the music setting. Unfortunately, I can't hear anything in my headphones, but when I look at the meter, it does look like something is being recorded. I don't know what it sounds like, though. And finally, we are back on chat. Now let's go ahead and move over to the right-hand button, which is equally as confusing and stupid. So this, too, has a short press and long press. Long press is mic mute, but that's confusingly named as well because it actually mutes everything running through this. So I'll keep talking, and I'm talking. Go ahead and hit it again, and now you can hear what I'm saying. So that's what happens when you long press it. If you short press it, you switch between a bunch of different effects, which all seem to be really intense reverb. But the way I'm going to test it is I'm going to click my tongue so you can really hear what kind of reverb and the length and just how insane they are. And as far as I can tell, there's no way of adjusting the intensity or level of the effects. So what you hear is what you get. And the effects all seem to be way, way, way too intense for any use. But let's just go ahead and get right into the tests. So yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything on this USB interface or sound card or whatever you want to call it. It does have a lot of effects, but I think they are all useless. They are all so intense. I can't imagine any singer saying, I want 5-second long reverb with a touch of delay where it just covers up my actual singing voice. Let me give you an example. Here is what it sounds like when you're singing a song. It's ridiculous that it is this loud. I also think it's pretty insane that they have 3 mic inputs but only 1 gain and 1 EQ for all 3 inputs. So that really limits what you can do with this thing as well. So I don't think I can recommend this at all because jumping through these button pressing menus is clunky. There's no way of determining what effects you're using. There's no way to control the level of the effects. And on top of that, this thing costs about $40. Right now, the Xenix 302 is $50, so you can get all this functionality, but in a much better package. It's more well built. You can control the volume for input 1 and input 2. You can plug in an you just have a lot more control over all the aspects using an actual mixer. In all honesty, I don't know who this was designed for. I think it's way too clunky with these button interfaces and clicking through them all. It's just, I cannot recommend this. I don't think you should buy it. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I guess that will do it. If you found this fun, interesting, or helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you thought it sucked, thumbs down. If you want more, subscribe by clicking the logo in the corner. I don't know why I'm going to do this, but if you do want this, I will link it in the description. Also, don't forget to vote for the microphones you want reviewed next, and follow me on all the social media stuff. Links to everything in the video description down below. Thank you guys for watching. I think that is it. I will see you all later. Bye.